Welcome back to video 2 for the Circle of Chords. This video is about how you can use the Circle of Chords to help you to better organize yourself going forward. It's no more playing blindly chords. You want to take that bird's eye view to be an informed, empowered musician, not just playing randomly, right? We want to move beyond that and see the big picture. So the Circle of Chords, or any kind of key system, will help you in a number of ways. And I'm just going to go over a few of those ways. The first one is training your ear. First, once you know the chords, then you learn how they sound together and how they relate. Then you can really learn to what's called play by ear. To say, listen to a song on the radio and know what chords are moving around. Even if you don't hear what key it is, you can say, well, there's the 4 chord, there's the 6 minor chord, you're doing this in your brain, there's the 1 chord, etc. You can do that once you really understand how those chords are relating with each other. So it's part of training the ear to really comprehend that circle of chords. So it's really about not playing blindly, but being informed and empowered, and to learn to use that empowerment to train that ear to hear the circle as it happens. For example, let's pretend you can't see my hand anymore. And I'm playing this, so I'm playing a G. So I'm doing these 2 chords. You know, what chords are those, right? If that's our 1 chord, that goes here. For example, how far did it go? Boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you know the circle and you know how far distances are, you could know that I went to a C chord. Okay? What if I went boom, and dum, and then to dum? What if I lifted that for 1 note? Well, you could say it must be a D, right? Bum, bum, bum. Okay, think about what the next chord sounds like. I'm going to play those 3 again. Think about what the E minor sounds like. Bum, bum, bum. Does it sound like this? If so, you played an E minor chord in your head. That was pretty colorful E minor chord, by the way. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. So I went 1, 4, 5, and then I went back down and went to the 4 again. Okay, so let's get intricate here. What if I'm on that C? What if I went to down that 1? Well, it could be a B minor, but most of the time, that 3 position is a over chord, specifically the 1 over 3, which is G over B. Okay? You should kind of like start to hear those chords moving along the key. That's part of being a, say, matured player or empowered player. Where do you start? Well, you could start with a melody. Let's say you've got this melody in your head, and you don't know what key it's in. Well, the melody and the chords, they all fit within the key. So when you hear that melody moving around, it's got to fit into a certain key. So what I do is I'll literally just, let's say a song's playing, I'll just say move the top string. There's only so many options. There's only 11 total options. So move that top note around. I think that's it. What key is it in? First, I try to find the 1. Alright? If I miss the 1 starting out, that's okay. You might say find a 5, or you might find a 4. When you play those notes that you go, okay, that note may not be the main one, but I know it's in the key. Make a note of it. Too often people try to find the key and they might play a note that sounds good, and I think, well, think about that note. That's one of the notes in the key. there's only 7 notes in the key. In the key, there's only 7 notes. So, all right, we've got these chords moving. I'm just gonna simply play some of these notes. That A runs through that chord progression as the main thing. Let's talk about some of these notes. The 1 is the landing point. Think of it like the place where the plane wants to land to. The 4 I think of like a lift. Dum 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 dum, right? In the key of A. A D, A D. It's a lift. Think of it like a lift. The 5 I think of like it wants to flip back to 1. If I do this, that wants to go back home, right? The 5 kind of feels to me like a turn back to 1. All right, let's talk about the 1 and the 6 minor. The 1 and the 6 minor have a very special relationship. In fact, think about these chords, how since there's only 7 total notes in the key and 7 chords, these chords all share a lot of the same notes. For example, in the key of G, the C chord really actually has a lot in common with the E minor chord. Or the A minor chord has a lot in common with the C major chord. See, because they have 2 out of 3 notes overlapping. That's a lot. That's like 2/3 of themselves are another chord. So specifically, the 1 chord and the 6 minor have a very special relationship. And it's important to hear the 6 minor when you hear it and know that it's kind of like a 1. In fact, when people say it's in a minor key, usually they mean it's in the key of that 6 minor. So what I do, if I'm in a quote minor key, I just go ahead and put it in that major chord. Even if that 1 major chord was never played, and it was just, say, for example, the 2 and the 6 minor over and over, chances are you're in that 1 major key. Especially if you throw like 1 more chord in there, usually a 3rd chord really helps you center yourself around, okay, I'm probably in this key. It's a good way to start. And the last point I want to make about the circle of chords, as far as how to use it to help you, which is so many reasons. Let's say you know what key you're in, but you're not sure what the main chords are. What I do is I throw a thumb up for that 1 chord. Call that one 1. Let's say key of C. Let's say I'm like, okay, I want to be in the key of C, but I'm not sure what the chords are. C, and just go to your 4 and 5 fingers. C, D, E, F, and G. Those are your 3 major chords for the key. If you want to know what your 6 is, just go to the next letter in the musical alphabet. After your 5, G, the next letter is A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Continues on, right? So your 6 minor is just after your 5 finger. Let's say you want to know what your 2 minor is. Well, you've got your 1. Just go to your next letter, call it a minor. Let's say you want to know what your over chord is, or sometimes the 3 being a minor. C, D, E. It's a E minor or a 1/3, which is a C over E chord. So that is some of the ways the circle of chords can be helpful and beneficial for you. Getting that bird's eye view so you can learn to train your ears, so you can learn to be more colorful, have more options, and approach a song in an empowered way rather than feeling just going blindly. This is part of being a multi-dimensional player. So it's about organizing yourself, and it's about training your ear. It's about getting a bird's eye view of the key. That's just an introduction to how the circle of chords can be beneficial. Stay tuned for video 3. I'm going to point out some commonalities between the other systems of chords in the key and some differences. So I'll catch you on video 3.